Shut up and sit down.
Hello, my friend. You are listening to the Dance Studio Scaled podcast, the number one place for innovative marketing, retention strategies, and business growth ideas made just for dance studio owners. Now, this isn't your average business podcast. We're here to shake things up, simplify the hustle, and focus on real, actionable insights. I'm your host, Jen Dalton, and after 30 years of running studios, coaching owners, and scaling businesses, I know one thing's for sure. There's no one size fits all in this industry. You've got the passion, and I've got the tools to help you take it to the next level. So hit that subscribe button, grab a coffee, and let's scale your studio together. Well, hello there, Dance Fam, and welcome to this week's episode of the Dance Studio Scaled podcast. Today's episode is timely. I have put it here right now, this particular week of the year, very strategically, because every year around this time, I see studio owners hitting the same point, and it's that mix of excitement for the holidays and wrapping everything up, mixed with exhaustion from the year and this little bit of fear in the back of your mind saying, I'd love to switch off, but I know I can't. There's just too much to do. And if I step away, something will fall apart. Now, I absolutely get it. I really do, because I have been here myself, hence this episode. Now, hands up, who knows that feeling of starting day one of a new year completely exhausted? I am going to pretty much guarantee that's most people listening. I absolutely know this feeling, and it's why I changed the way I did things. But I want you to know that there is a way where you can switch off fully and properly without the guilt, without any fear that everything's going to fall apart, and without coming back to January with an overwhelmingly amount of things to do. You just need a plan. And today I'm going to walk you through exactly what needs to be done before the holidays so you can shut off your brain. You can shut the doors of the studio and really enjoy the break with your family and the breathing space, because you have earned it. Now, this episode's really practical. It's doable. It's honestly the difference between starting 2026 completely exhausted and starting feeling in control with a clear plan. This one, if you are a note taker, and it's a possibility for you to grab a pen, take some notes so you can literally tick off this list to get things done. All right, let's get into it. Number one, the first thing is to have your timetable finalized and your 2026 information either collated or decided. Now, this is probably the single biggest thing that will remove the mental load over the break. Because if your timetable's done, you're going to stop second guessing decisions. You're going to stop wondering what needs adjusting. You're going to stop holding it in your head. And I know that you'll probably still need to do a few final tweaks. I get that, but have it as final as possible. Have it documented and share it with someone, whether it's your whole team if you're at that position, whether it's any senior teachers in your team, whether you've got a business buddy, share it just so that you know it is done. Even if it's done to 95%, that's a lot of thinking time that will be taken away over the break. Now, with your information, you want to include things like your teacher allocations. So even if you haven't announced it to your teachers or you don't make final decisions, have a bit of a plan so you know in your head where you think most of your teachers are going to be allocated. Have your locations locked in. Have your pricing sorted. If you are increasing your prices, now's the time to have it decided so that you can start letting your people know. Update any class descriptions, any age groups or levels, and any new classes or programs that you are going to be launching. Now, once this is done, that's it. These are the decisions that are going to give you some freedom over your holidays. Okay, number 2 is to publish your 12-month studio calendar. Parents love clarity. Teams love clarity. And I promise you, future you is going to love clarity. So have as many dates as possible for the following year in a calendar, which is accessible for your staff and for your families. Now, things that this could include: term dates, public holidays, rehearsals, concert dates, exam dates, photo day, costume try-on, studio closures, staff development days. Anything that you know in advance should be in this calendar. And then once you have it, publish it on your website if you've got a parent portal, and make sure that you include it in your January welcome email. This generally will prioritize the diaries of your family. So if they know that there are certain things on and they're going through their diary to book a holiday, there's a much better chance that they're not going to book over exam days or concert days or rehearsals because it's in their calendar. Okay, number 3 is to update your website and your socials for 2026 inquiries. Now, this is a big one. Any January inquiries should be able to find everything they need without you. Now, I know the importance absolutely of getting their contact details so you can contact them. But if you think of a busy parent who is just thinking, that's right, I wanted to check what the details were for dance for this year for my child, and they jump online, and I know some people aren't prioritizing their websites as much as they should be, but that's information for another episode. But it's so important now, especially now with this AI search, to make sure that your websites are just as updated as your socials. So things on your website should be, I am a huge advocate for having your timetable and your pricing on your websites. Frequently asked questions. They're going to answer the questions quickly for someone who's scanning through, whether it's your socials or on your website, and it's going to give them some quick answers, which might make the decision with pursuing with you or not. Having a really clear enroll button or a process of how they can enroll, class descriptions, trial options, staff profiles, your studio story, contact details. On your socials, you can pin a post with different links and info, updating all your bios, updating links in your bio, in your socials as well, scheduling your welcome posts, load any B-roll and content for January. Because this is where you're going to start gaining connection and trust with new families while you are still swimming and eating leftovers or reading the book on the couch. Okay, number 4 is confirm your teaching team for the new year. And then I'm just going to say in brackets, as much as possible. So for me, this was a non-negotiable before switching off, because the idea of having to staff when we get back after Christmas was a lot. I didn't actually stop because I was so worried about it. Now, I also appreciate that you might not be able to do this for everyone, because there are teachers who will be waiting for their other schedules for other jobs, or they might be waiting for their uni timetable. But what I would always do is sit with each teacher and discuss what the following year looks like for them. And then we were able to have conversations. Like if I would ask them what their preferences were, what their plans were for holidays. I could talk about training expectations. I could remind them of our studio values and different expectations, important dates that were coming up in the new year, when we were returning, locking in training days, the policies that needed to be reviewed. And I would do this generally at the end of October, so everyone sort of was on the same page. It also then allowed those teachers who were a little bit wobbly or weren't sure if they were coming back to let me know then, and then I could just be on the front foot about knowing that I needed to replace them. And this honestly prevented those surprises in January of sorry, I'm not coming back, or I just assumed I was teaching on Tuesdays. This is just really clear communication that will mean so much more calm later. And it doesn't have to be an in-person meeting. It could be even a discussion at the studio when you passing each other. It could be, you take them out to a cafe and have a conversation out there. It doesn't have to be in the studio and formal, just some sort of way of having the conversation so you're just on the same page. Okay, Moving on, number 5 is to order all the stock that you are going to need for January and February. Now, we worked with a few companies in China for many years, and China had their new year in February. So the whole of February would pretty much shut down. And so we used to order all of our stock in October for the beginning half of the new year. Now, it's things like your uniform, branded merch, welcome packs, teacher kits, office supplies, any first aid and safety items, any new props that you might be introducing into your classroom, cleaning supplies, tech and equipment. If you can get this done, then there's so much less for you to have to do in January when you do get back. And it will stop you being caught short as well. So for us, when people would enroll and we'd have our open day in January, we had all the stock available so they could buy uniform and they had it straight away. They had their shoes straight away, so they weren't waiting, which is it's actually a really good retention tool as well and helps everyone get really excited. Okay, number 6 is to prepare any job advertisements for 2026. Now, I didn't ever really like doing this one because the thought of, losing a teacher and having to replace them, I know how huge that is. And even if you don't think you're going to need new teachers, January is usually when the issue is going to show up. And it could look like, and it couldn't, it's not necessarily like they don't want to come back, but they might move, they might get a new job, your timetable might grow, or you decide to expand somehow. So if you can have a job ad pre-written, it is going to save you a lot of time if you do need to recruit. So this could include position descriptions, application links, interview questions, job overview copy, social media posting templates. This is just simply going to give you control instead of panic. Okay, number 7 is having your social media content created and scheduled. So I'm talking sort of the organic stuff first. Now, at a minimum, you could schedule your January welcome post, your Christmas Day, your Happy New Year. Then you could talk about your new timetable, have some B-roll reels happening behind the scenes, the We're Coming Back content or open day or workshops, like those organic things that are coming up, you can have them scheduled and designed. Another really good one is to have some frequently asked questions rolling through your organic socials as well. Because it's not only going to help answer questions, but it's going to get people thinking and getting people in the mindset of dance. Like, oh yes, that's right. You don't need to be creating content while you're on your holiday. You need to rest. You need quiet and you need time where your brain isn't thinking in captions. January is a big opportunity month and you can leverage it without needing to be actively online. Okay, number 8. Now, this is having your meta ads done or planned. So I know I've had quite a few conversations this week with some studio owners who are planning to run ads in January. So plan them now. I know my girls are because they're so organized, but plan them now. Have the designs done, have your copy done. If you speak with Sally Prendergast, she will tell you need different designs set up, different copies so you can work out what's going to resonate, what message is going to be speaking directly to your people. You can then target them and you can decide on your budget, you can decide on your time frames, and then what the process is. If someone does click, where are you sending them? Where are they getting their information? Where can they leave their details? You could also plan like campaigns now so you're not fumbling with them in the first week of January and just trying to work out what works, because by the time you sit and play and get them out, it's usually a week before classes start back. So getting that done now is highly, highly recommended. Okay, number 9 is write and schedule your final email to your families. Now, this just feels like closure, and it was one of the most important tasks for me. Write this one that's going to cover all those questions that you're going to be asked. Include like your office closing dates, when the doors are shutting, the reopen dates. Tell them that during that time, no one will be manning the phones or the emails, and then have a redirect them. If you've got any questions, head to this link, head to this page, head to the website. Include also the important dates for 2026 information, especially what's going to be coming up in January and February. Any contact details if urgent, when to expect their January emails and things starting back, just so they know also in the back. Then schedule those January emails. The first week reminders, the new student welcome, and of course that frequently asked questions linked. We also want to be reminding them about open days and workshops, the new teacher intros as well. Everything should go out without you having to lift a finger during the break if you get this done before you go on leave. Okay, and number 10, finally, this is the last one, is to commit to switching off. And now this is probably the part where studio owners will struggle the most because it is so hard. We are used to being on 24/7. But here's the truth. Your studio does not grow when you work all the time. It grows when you create space to think. So I urge you so desperately to block out time in your calendar from when you shut your laptop and then you don't walk back in front of it. You don't access any emails, any work stuff for a particular block of time. Now, if you can get a full 2 weeks away, I think that is incredible. If you can do more, that's even better. I don't know about you, but I know for me, when I'm winding down for something, it usually takes a good couple of days to actually be able to switch off and then relax. And then after that is when I start to be able to enjoy my time with other people and, think about things that aren't work. So if you can do those 2 full weeks, I think that is fantastic. If not, try and do more. But in that time, no checking the emails, no tweaking timetables, no quick replies, no admin, no late night fixing. This is where you need to spend time with your family. Get outside, rest, read, move, just do absolutely nothing. I can tell you something I just love in times like this is just sitting down and watching Netflix, like really easy watching. I think it's the only way I can switch my brain off and I don't have to think. I just want you to remember who you are outside of your business, outside of the studio, because it shouldn't be defining you. Your studio should not define who you are. You are going to be more creative, you are going to be more strategic and more grounded when you return. And honestly, that's when your studio is going to benefit from you switching off. All right, let's wrap this up. So that's your end of year shutdown plan. Not to add more pressure, but to give you clarity, because clarity creates calm. And you honestly deserve a break. Not a break where you're pretending to rest, but a break where your shoulders can drop, your breathing can slow, and your brain gets to reset. So for now, you need to get your list done. Now, if you listen to this in the car, I urge you to go back and listen and take notes to make sure you can just get a to-do list written. This way, you're going to then protect your holiday and be able to give yourself permission to step away without guilt. The other thing you will probably need to do is block out time in your calendar to get these things done, or to delegate some of these tasks. So some of these tasks can be done by your team. But you need to, if you don't put it, I don't know about you, if you don't put it in your diary, this is for me, it won't get done. So this is your permission to go to your calendar, block out some time where you don't need to be talking to parents or teaching or being face-to-face in the studio, and just lock this stuff in. And I don't usually swear in public, so if you are listening with small children around, I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to turn down the volume, because I want to tell you that you have fucking earned this. You have earned having a break and really switching off. The time, the effort, the thought, the constant thinking that goes into running your studio, into running the business, into giving is exhausting, and you deserve a break. Okay, fam, until next week, I hope you have a great rest of November as you are heading into the craziness of December. But absolutely always here for you. So please do reach out. You can DM me on Instagram if you do want to start a conversation or you have any questions about wrapping up for 2025. Thanks for tuning in to the Dance Studio Scaled podcast. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other studio owners who would love it too. And let's keep the conversation going. Follow me on Instagram at Jen Dalton for more tips, insights, and behind-the-scenes moments to help you simplify and scale your studio. Until next time, keep dreaming big and taking action. I'll see you back here soon.